our brother Ustadh Umar Jamaykee. He's a graduate of Medina University and he's the Imam at Brixton Mosque. And he will be going through the explanation of the three fundamental principles. Ustadh, are you using Sheikh Uthaymeen's or the Sheikh Salih?
I haven't decided yet. To be told, they explained.
You decided. So inshallah, without further ado, I will hand over. I don't plan to sit up here because I need to learn myself, so I'll be sitting, brother, if that's okay with you, I'll be sitting over there. If you need me, then you can call me, inshallah. So I'll hand over to you.
Jazakallah.
That's it, you can speak.
Alhamdulillah. نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ما يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So first I wish to thank this masjid for extending to us the invitation to be with you and also to discuss one of the books of the ulama. And we'll be discussing a very important topics, and that we're very pleased also to see that the young shabab, our youths, that they will be, inshallah, hopefully would be with us throughout this journey. So it's a journey of talabat al-ilm. So it's a quest, a journey in seeking of knowledge about those things that are considered to be of the basic matters regarding Islam, and more so in the area of Aqidah. So regarding today's being the first of these lectures, that we'll try to start off with an introduction. And the introduction that we had planned was to discuss matters regarding the virtue of knowledge. Second, to discuss matters regarding the importance of Aqidah and Tawheed. The third is to discuss matter relating to the author of the book to be discussed, and also the book to be discussed. And to cover.
You'll have to be a bit nearer to you, brother. Sorry.
Oh, come closer.
The sisters are not hearing you upstairs.
Okay.
Into this mic.
So, as also the general guideline wants to discuss those matters relating to, we said first the importance of knowledge, even though this will be covered later again in the book by the author rahimahullah. Then second thing that we wish to cover today is regarding hamiyat, the importance of studying matters of Aqidah, and also the method of the ulama regarding teaching and studying Aqidah and the books in that particular topic. Also to discuss concerning matters relating to the author and also the book to be studied. So that was the general outline regarding tonight's discussion. And this was somewhat to, and also to get set put certain things in place regarding what we wish to cover. So regarding concerning, and due to that, we kind of somewhat also, as we were trying to prepare today, we kind of somewhat slightly changed certain things. Now, but won't be much of a difference. You won't notice the difference, inshallah. So regarding concerning ilm, as we mentioned, starts concerning the importance of ilm, because the author rahimullah, that in the introduction of his book, he'll cover this topic. So we kind of somewhat discuss that then, and what we'll cover then will be concerning the importance of ilm at that particular point. That will be the next lecture, and also some general principle regarding the adab of the talib al-ilm, or the person studying Islam, or the person, so what is expected from the person regarding his conduct as he become a person who is carrying something of revelation, the book and the sunnah. So he says he's expected to be of a certain conduct and behavior. So we kind of somewhat cover some of those matters. Then also today though we'll discuss concerning regarding the next matter, hamiyat al-tawheed wal-aqidah, as is concerning this of the foundation of Islam, as in the hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam, when he came to the Prophet alayhi salam and asked him concerning akhbarani an al-Islam, inform me regarding Islam. Then the Prophet alayhi salam outlined to him what is Islam, and those are matters regarding the fundamental practice of Islam that is expected from every Muslim, male and female alike, regarding those practices regarding Islam. Then he asked him akhbarani an al-iman, inform me regarding iman. And this is the matter regarding matters of iman / matters of i'tiqad. the thing that the Muslim should hold as his belief. What's the belief system of the Muslim? So these are the things that is expected from us as Muslim, but also to draw attention regarding the importance of this topic. So because we have a lot of shabab, and also we have some of our, mashallah, al-ikhwa al-fadil with us, we try to go in between regarding the information that is given. And regarding my particular way, everyone have their own ways of how they conduct their lesson. As for my way regarding that, during the lesson, I may ask question. So question may be posed while we're conducting the lesson. And also normally when we come back to the next lesson, I will question you regarding what was covered before. With me? And if the questions are not answered, then you have to give me something. With me? We agree upon that? So if you do not, meaning if you did not prepare yourself and you come and ask the questions and then not getting the correct answer, then sometime I give something, after a while, then you need to give me something. With me? So regarding concerning matters of i'tiqad, as this book, Thalatha Usool, or Usool Al-Thalatha, that covers concerning matters relating to Aqidah. So what is matters concerning Aqidah with Tawheed? Because all the time we hear people speak and use these words, at-Tawheed, wal-Aqidah. So, and what are the general principles related to this particular topic? What are things that are covered in matters concerning Aqidah? So you have many books that have covered this. Regarding concerning Aqidah and what is covered, that in general, as mentioned by the ulama concerning matters concerning Aqidah, it is covering those basic belief that is expected from every Muslim. And that will kind of somewhat cover various topics. Those topics that will be covered regarding this particular matter concerning Aqidah, regarding the Muslim, that one of the usul in studying of those fundamental principles regarding studying of Aqidah, the ulama have outlined regarding Inna Al-Sunnah Wal-Jama'ah, that the people who affiliate themselves to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and also to the Sunnah of the Prophet Islam, that those people have referred to Al-Sunnah Wal-Jama'ah. But also it is expected of them that they should be aware of certain things regarding what will distinguish them from others. So of those things regarding those people who wish to be upon this way of the Prophet Islam, regarding what they believe and also what they practice. Because Islam is of twofold. Things that we believe, but also things that is expected from us as Muslims regarding how we apply our Islam. And we apply it in accordance to how the Prophet Islam taught us. And also how the companions, anhum, how they took it from the Prophet Islam and applied it in their life after his death. So we'll look to that example regarding how we implement Islam in our day-to-day lives, regarding our way of how we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our salat, in a siyam, zakat, and the likes. How we behave and conduct ourselves. All those things go back to a source. And that's going back to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and second, to the Sunnah of the Prophet Islam, that is authentic. As not everything that is attributed to the Prophet is considered to be a valid, it is something which is valid going back to Imam alayhi salam. So Ahlul Sunnah, that they try to implement Islam in a holistic way regarding all aspects of their life, and to each person to the best of one's ability. Of the things that distinguish them is of Ahlul Sunnah, that regarding matters of Aqidah, matters of Tawheed that we study, that everything that we attribute to being the Aqidah, the belief of Ahlul Sunnah, it must have a source reference. Where does this source go back to? And the source must go back either to the book or to the Sunnah. And not only to just any Sunnah, to the authentic Sunnah. Because sometimes something I may discuss later on, that for a hadith of the Prophet Islam to be considered to be authentic, it has to be filtered. As there's thing that is attributed to Imam alayhi salam, to the Prophet Islam, that is not actually correct going back to him. So there's a filtering system that is in place, that ulama who specialize in hadith, they have put certain guidelines in place. And they are the ulama of hadith. Regarding the matter of the usul of Ahl-Sunnah, that of those first things that they believe, of their belief system, is that they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding all those things that are particular to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the belief of Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah, some as they are referred to as, and they are also referred to other names, that of the things of the core of their belief is that they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and those things that are particular to Him regarding His names and attributes and other matters. Also, belief in the angels, the revealed books, the prophets and messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the day of judgment, and also matters relating to Al-Qadr, is good and is bad. And those are the Usool Al-Sitta. Regarding Iman, what are they? Iman, belief in Allah. Who can help me? One Shabab, the youngsters. What are the 6 pillars of faith, as they refer to us? The 6 pillars of faith. What are they? Our youngsters. What's your name? Zubair. Aywa, tafaddal. What are they? 1. Belief in Allah. The angels. Okay, stop there. That's 3. Companion of Zubair. So we have belief in Allah, the angels, the books. Another. The messengers. Another. Messengers and prophet. Aywa, no problem. That's half the answer. Day of judgment. Very good. Even though someone aided you. Another. Day of judgment. And the last being? Divine decree. Divine decree. So regarding those are the usul of the matters relating to Aqidah. And those things will be covered again later. So the Muslim have to understand those things correctly. But we have a framework that we work within. And that framework is the Quran and the Sunnah. So regarding belief, regarding any of those things, that we do not go outside the book and the Sunnah. For example, we have those who will say regarding belief in some of those things regarding some Anbiya, that they say that, for example, a person may say that Isa alayhi salam is the son of God. Isa alayhi salam, Ibn Allah, is the son of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But according to our belief and the belief of all the Anbiya, including Isa alayhi salam, that's unacceptable. But that have become a belief among some that violates, goes in contrary to the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have a son. But there are those who have taken on this belief. Now, for example, in certain cultures and certain people, like where I'm from, originally like from Jamaica, that they have a saying that when they'll always say, a person will say that they said, for example, Father God. I've heard that before. Talk to Jamaicans. Hey, okay. They will say Father God. But we don't say that. So they want to say God, but they put the word in front of it, Father God. Now, but for us in Islam, that's unacceptable. Because Allah has no father. So the Muslim, knowing his own belief, so as he can protect himself from false beliefs. And there are many out there. There are many out there. So that's how we said of the starting point regarding understanding the Aqeedah of Ahl-Sunnah. And that's of the things we said in general, and that goes into detail. And some of the details regarding matters concerning Iman Billah will come up again. Will come up again, and we'll go into a little more detail regarding that particular matter. Also of those things that distinguish Ahl-Sunnah, the people of Sunnah, from others, from even some of the Muslims who have somewhat taken a different path. from what is expected from them. Now, of the second belief regarding Ahl Sunnah, regarding their belief, that we believe concerning of the usul of the belief of the Muslim, that al-iman qawl bil-lisan, ittiqad bil-janan, wal-amal bil-arkan, wal-jawarih. That is iman. As the Prophet mentioned, this iman, it falls into three areas. That is things, my iman is of three parts that are together. Belief in the heart, speech with the tongue, and actions with the limb. So our iman, when a person says, I have faith, my iman, it comprises of those three things. And they are not unattached to each, they are all attached to each other. Things that relates to my belief in my heart, things that I will say with my tongue as a part of my belief, and also actions that I carry out. All of that is a part of iman. For example, sometimes a person might say, as an example, just as an example, a person, you say to him, a Muslim, but he doesn't pray. So he said, why are you not praying? So the person says, no, I'm not praying because my iman is in my heart, so that's good enough. My iman is in my heart, and I don't need to carry out certain action. It's not in my prayer. But that's incorrect statement. Because a part of our iman, yes, is regarding in your heart, but also the actions that you do is a part of your iman. So the Muslim have to understand these matters regarding al-iman. So a person might ask a sister, why not wearing hijab? She said, my iman is not in my covering my hair, it's in my heart. Also, that's an incorrect statement. Wearing the hijab is a part of your iman. It's a part of the dress code of iman. And other matters. Of those things regarding those matters and various matters due to the of those matters regarding as a part of the belief and the approach of Ahl Sunnah regarding matters of iman, regarding matters concerning of belief, wal itiqad wa tawheed, that Ahl Sunnah, that they have a genuine love for the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. So for all the Sahaba, for all of those who are considered as the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, that we have genuine love for them. In line with the Sharia. So we love the companions, Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman, Ali, Ibn Mas'ud, Ibn Abbas, and all of them. And we do not say anything ill about any companion. We do not speak or have any type of dislike towards any of those who are said to be of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, because that's a part of our belief. And we do not accept also others to attack and to abuse them and to speak ill of them. Just as no one will accept for a person to speak ill of anyone that we like, that we love. Our mother, our father, our brothers, our sister. So the companions, they are that dear to us, that we do not accept people speaking ill of any of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, as that is unacceptable from anyone. And we see those people as the one whom they're the ones are the connection between us and Islam, as they're the ones who learned Islam from the Prophet ﷺ and then took it to the various parts of the world. And the Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised them. So if a group of people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have praised and honor them, shouldn't we honor them and praise them? So that's concerning the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ. So we look to them, as I mentioned, La tusub ashabi, that none of you should abuse my companions. So we do not accept anyone abusing any of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, and also going overboard regarding some over others. We do not accept also going overboard regarding any of the companions or even any person. In fact, try to follow a balanced approach regarding our love towards any individual. Also of the matter regarding, and this matter will come up later, that in Islam, that regarding we have a systemized way in how to understand Islam, and also the sources that we can use to say this constitute a part of Islam. So to keep everything on point, that we have a system so as anyone who goes out of that system, then that person needs to be pulled back in and be corrected. That's for the alim and for everyone. So to make sure that we understand Islam correctly, not go to extreme, as sometimes we find certain groups or individual that we might find with them, and that's even in our time prevalent, and that even that also have attacked the beauty of Islam and make problem for us the Muslim wherever we are in the world today, so because of people going outside the system that is in place regarding how to understand Islam and also how to apply Islam. So to keep everything in balance. To keep things in balance, Islam have a systemized way of how to approach, how we understand this religion of Islam, how I can judge whether this person is saying something which is correct or incorrect. Is this thing that is being said or being attributed to Islam is actually something which is correct from Islam or something from a person's own ideas? So we have that system in place. Check, as they say today, check and balances. And that's within Islam, a framework and a system. So we have one, to keep things in balance, sources that we use to say these are the primary sources that we can use to decide what is said to be from Islam or of Islam. Who know those sources? What I think we said, if I want to say this thing is from Islam, what are the sources that I can go back to prove my point? Man, what are those sources? Sahih Hadith. Okay, one. Quran. Aywa. So those two are of the primary source of Islam. Do we have other sources? Hassan. Explain Hassan.
It's a level of degree in Hadith.
Okay. So of the primary sources, as mentioned, we have Quran, and we have the Sunnah of the Prophet Islam, and yes, the authentic Sunnah. Or as the ulama said, Hadith al-Maqbool. Hadith al-Maqbool is of two types, as-Sahih wal-Hasan. So Sahih and Hasan goes back to Hadith. And that area of study. Is there any other sources? Al-Ijma. Aywa. So of a third source of Islam, Al-Ijma. But what is Ijma? Consensus. Consensus of Sahaba, and after the Sahaba? Hey, At-Tabi'in. So can we have Ijma in our time? Would that be a valid Ijma to have of our time today? Don't think so? Okay. Hey. So Ijma is of the primary source of Islam. So the ulama of Usool Al-Fiqh go in details regarding this matter. Then you have concerning in Bab of Aqidah in particular. So you have concerning the people who deal with halal and haram, the fuqaha. So their area of speciality is concerning clarifying the things that are halal and the thing which is haram. So regarding the sources of references that they use is more than what the people who specialize in Aqidah work with. What do I mean by that? We have various sciences in Islam. Is that the case? Regarding studies. So like we're going to university, you have different faculties, isn't it? That specialize in particular areas. So in Islam, regarding Islam, it studies, you have various areas, various fields, area speciality. You have people who specialize in fiqh, and they are called the people who specialize in fiqh. What they are referred to as? Mufakkir. Okay. Faqih, fuqaha. So for example, Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahumullah jami'an. All of those are classed amongst the fuqaha. But also some as regarding their madhab al-fiqhiyya, that is prominent amongst most Muslim. Those people, because they more cover concerning identify halal and haram, those people are generally referred to as the fuqaha. With me? The sources that they use to come to their conclusion, that they work with. You have those sources which is agreed upon, mujma alayh, and the sources that they have which is mukhtalifun fi, which is some discussion regarding using those sources. So as for the faqih, he works with Quran, as-sunnah, al-ijma, consensus of the ulama on a particular matter in any period of time, in any time period. Also they work with ijma. This now for a little above the youngsters, but for the elders. So those are the four that are considered to be in general agreed upon as sources of tashri'ah. Amongst the which group of people? Our elders? The fuqaha. So for example, if I ask you, who's a faqih in our time? Who's said to be of those people who is known for fiqh? If you want to know halal and haram, who we go to? We have a crisis in England that needs to be looked at. Is a fiqh-related matters. Can we vote in election? Who we look to discuss this matter? Hey, scholars. Fuqaha. So I said, okay, fuqaha, scholars. Who are those scholars though? Because the word still, an alim, fuqaha, ulama, still blank. There's no names attached. We need some names to make it more realistic. So it's titles, but those titles need individual that we can put those titles to and refer back to. So who will be those people that are considered to be of the fuqaha of our time? Sheikh Fawzan, the big names, the more popular names. Other than Sheikh Fawzan? You have a few Fawzan, but I know it's Fawzan you're speaking of. Man? Sheikh Wasila Abbasi. Aywa. Fuqaha. I said I asked question to test the waters, isn't it? But the fuqaha are those I mentioned that are some of those ulama, especially, but also said no, it's important to know who some of those individuals are. Not to say a person needs to know every one of the ulama, but at least a person is aware of some of those ones that we are aware of who they are. And if needs be, when we hear the aqwal, we can kind of somewhat feel more at ease. That's coming from a person who is what? Qualified. But a name that we can what? Recognize. So knowing who are the actually ulama of our time is important for us. Because we have issues that we may want to get answers for. So knowing what the ulama we can refer to, but we said those are the fuqaha. And they have their own sources that they work with. We won't go into the other area yet. Then we have other group of ulama who specialize in a different field. We have the people who are like the people of hadith. Like Sheikh Wasila would be more of the muhaddithin, right? Who specialize more in hadith. So those are the people that they concentrate a lot regarding the sunnah in sense of gathering the sunnah of the Prophet Islam and then trying to sieve out those ahadith that are acceptable and those that are not. I'm not going to ask the question, what are the muhaddithin of our time? Leave that for next time. Nam? But is knowing who is who. Nam? Then you have a third group of ulama that relates to our topic, who are the ones specialized in what? Aqidah wa Tawheed. What are the sources that they work with? Their sources even more restricted. With me? Their sources go back to the Quran, to the Sunnah, authentic Sunnah, and third, al-ijma' wal-ijma' of the Salaf. They work within the ijma' of the Salaf, meaning within the first 3 generations of Islam, of the people that are known to be upon the correct way. Because after the 3rd generation, then things a bit start to go in different direction.
Earlier you mentioned the 4 sources, brother. Did you split the ijma into 2? The ijma sahaba and ijma ulama?
Concerning ijma as definition, what is meant by ijma amongst the ulama, al-ijma, al-ittifaq, al-mujtahidin min ummat Rasul al-Islam fi amrin, or some put it, بعد وفاة رسول الإسلام في أمر من أمور الدين في أي وقت في أي وقت. So ijma is regarding those ulama after the death of the Prophet Islam. So the time of the Prophet Islam is not counted because he was the source. So after his death of Islam, if those ijma is those scholars who are considered to be the top scholars, the kibar, the mujtahideen, if they all agree upon a matter, any particular matter, then that becomes ijma. So, for example, we have just an example, and that in any generation, it applies from the time of Sahaba, and that ijma will end upon Qiyamus. So it applies to every generation. That's concerning matters of fiqh. So that's concerning the ijma is regarding if the ulama agree upon a particular matter, in a matter of the deen, then that becomes binding upon everyone to obey and to follow and accept and not to go against it. And that's from the time of the companions up until Yawm al-Qiyamah. Some of the ulama try to restrict ijma, but that's not to the salaf in matters of, so I said, but in matters of aqidah, and that's concerning ijma, concerning matters of fiqh, as those things like fiqh related matters, in every generation you might have matter which is contemporary to your time, that maybe in previous generation wasn't there. So a lot of business transactions we have today have to be looked at of the people of our time regarding, is this something which is permissible or not? Some things they agree upon and some things that they do all agree upon. And that becomes ijma for us today. So those are the general sources. But we said the sources in Aqidah, in our topic, it goes back to the Quran, to the Sunnah of the Prophet Islam, and third, to the ijma of the Salaf. That's concerning Aqidah. So there's nothing that we're going to come up new in today in Aqidah. As everything has been somewhat covered relating to the Aqidah of the Muslim. Because the Aqidah, a matter of unseen or thing that it was said tawqifiyah, we have to rely upon texts, not just people come up with their own ideas. That's a bit, I think, over the head of the Shabab. So matters. So as for the book that we'll be studying, inshallah, is a book that relates to some of the things that we have just mentioned. The book that we'll be studying, it covers some of the matters that we have just kind of somewhat outlined, and as we go through that book, then we'll go in detail regarding those matters. So it's important, that if you can get a copy, even the one, whatever is available in English, just so as to to familiarize yourself with the topic being discussed and what may be discussed. So the book is the book by one of the ulama of contemporary times, who wrote this book in Aqidah. It's mukhtasar, to give a general outline of matters relating to Aqidah. So you find the ulama in Aqidah, they started first in studying with a mukhtasar, or a very summarized text that outlined the basic stuff in Aqidah. So this book is in line with this. This book is in line with that approach, which is the book is referred to as Thalatha Al-Usool wa Adillatuha, and sometimes referred to as Al-Usool Al-Thalatha. This particular book is outlined regarding matters relating to the three questions that will be asked in the grave, and how the person to prepare oneself in knowing this particular topic. And also, as these things forms the core of the basic core beliefs of Islam. So that every Muslim should be familiar with it. And this book is somewhat covered many of the ulama have given a lot of attention to this particular book. The author of the book, we'll just give a brief outline of the author of the book, rahimahullah, and then the book. The author, rahimahullah, is referred to the title Shaykh al-Islam Al-Imam Abu al-Hussein. So the author is Abu al-Hussein. If you go back to I'll get a copy of Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah, the translated version, then this information should be there. Is Abu al-Hussein, is kunya, his name, the author rahimahullah, is Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab ibn Sulaiman ibn Ali ibn Muhammad ibn Ahmad At-Tamimi An-Najdi, one of the ulama of what is known as today as Saudi Arabia. And the author rahimahullah, that he was in a time, he grew up in his father's home with his parents, and his father was from the fuqaha of the Anabila. His father, so he grew up in a house where people of ilm. So his family were known to be people of ilm. They were qudat, they were people who were teachers. So he was in that environment. So he naturally, they encouraged him, and also by him being in their prayer, so also he was motivated also to take that path of being a person who give some importance to Islamic knowledge. So he grew up, memorized the Quran. Also his father appointed him to lead the people in Salat when he's still a young boy, in his early teens. So he was somewhat taken on certain responsibility. When he was, then also he traveled to different places to learn of Islam. Also traveled different places to learn of Islam. And the Shaykh rahimahullah was in a time where you find that in that region, that a lot of things that people were doing were contrary to Islam. So you found that what a lot of people were doing, practices that become somewhat prevalent among some of the people, were things that were contrary to Islam, a misunderstanding of Islam, and people were worshipping, even actually directly worshipping idols. So he became very concerned that these are things that contradicts Islam, but people were somewhat involved in this thing. So upon his study of the books of the ulama of past, the books of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim and the likes, that and also study with some of the ulama of hadith, such as Al-Muhaddith, Muhammad Haya As-Sindi and others, that he kind of somewhat went back to his region and then started to teach the people and wrote many books or several books regarding trying to clarify some of the basic things of Islam. So he authored several books, and amongst those books is Thalatha Usool or Al-Usool Al-Thalatha. He has also other books that he authored, Al-Qawaid Al-Arba, Kash Al-Shubahat, Kitab Al-Tawheed. Most of those books is to clarify a matter concerning the basic belief of the Muslim. To clarify the basic belief of the Muslim. So he kind of somewhat gave emphasis to that particular topic, and also wrote in other topics. So that's concerning the author in brief. As for the book, Thalatha Usool, since after the author rahimahullah, it gained attention in that particular region and also outside that region. So in the region of what was referred to today as Saudi Arabia, that book gained a lot of attention within that region and also even outside that region. And because of this, many of the ulama have explained this particular book. So the madrasa of Ahlus Sunnah, in most places, this book at some point will be studied, especially for the person who's a beginner. So this book is geared towards those explain basic tenets of Islam relating to who's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's your Prophet, and third, what's your religion. So try to cover those particular matter. He has an introduction to the book that he outlined 4 matters that each Muslim should give due attention. 4 matters that each Muslim should give attention to. And those 4 matters goes into ilm, al-amal bil-ilm, the person giving emphasis to knowledge, studying what needs to be studied, know what one needs to know so as one can apply Islam correctly. And also with knowing Islam, it also gives you that confidence that you can now explain to others, and also that you can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala feeling secure you're doing something correctly. And also having ilm, it protects the people, to protect one from false ideas. Especially in a time today, we'll find that many who have false claims regarding Islam and false interpretation regarding Islam. So having ilm, it protects the person against those things. Then he mentioned the second concerning al-amal bil-ilm, the person acting according to his knowledge. So the beauty of knowledge is not just say, I have learned, but the fruits of knowledge is for the person to apply it. As the nations before, they had knowledge. Allah subhanahu mentioned in the book in Surah Al-Fatiha, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide me to the straight path. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, guide me to the path of those whom you favored. غير المغضوب عليهم, other than the path of those whom you are displeased with, your anger with. And those people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is angry with, who are they? They are those people who had knowledge. They had knowledge of the book and the revelation, but they didn't apply it. Instead, they go against the Anbiya, against the prophets who came to them, but they had knowledge. Majority of the prophets were sent to them, one after another. But because of kibr, arrogance, that they turned away from the knowledge that they had. So having knowledge by itself is good, but the true benefit is the person able can apply it and live by it. And that's the test. Then of the thing that he mentioned, ad-dawah, that a person now, if you have knowledge, and also your example of what you have learned by applying it, then now invite others to this, share this with others. Call people to Islam, clarify to people Islam. Even just This anything that you know. Then of the fourth matter, sabr, having patience upon any problems that you may face. In studying, in calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also applying what you have learned. Sometimes when all this comes with some type of tests, but being patient. So he started out with this, then he went into the usul, the main matters that he wished to cover. I will mention this book, been covered by most of the ulama. We have many books in Aqidah. This book of those that is a matan, mukhtasar, but also there are books that have been now explained. So we have many explanation. Nam, that easily you can get over 50 explanation. Easily. Some even go into volumes, and the book itself, very small book. But some volumes some of the explanation go into volumes, 3 volumes, 2 volumes. That you can find over 1,000 pages. But the book itself, simple book, very simple. The matin itself won't go into more than 10 pages or less. But you have various explanation. And each who explained the book according to the audience. According to the audience. Nam. So I will mention you have many explanations that are out there of those one of the more famous of the Mashaykh who have explained this book. You have amongst them, as the brother of that copy that's in English, the one by Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, one of the fuqaha of our contemporary time. Nam, and a person who gave a lot of attention in explaining the books of Aqidah. So Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, that have explained Thalatha Usool, and also it has been translated. Also of those who have explained the book of all concerning, the one who compiled the books of Ibn Taymiyyah, they call Fatawa Ibn Taymiyyah. So Majmu' al-Fatawa, Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, the person who combined all of that, put all that together, did all that work, is Sheikh Abdul Rahman Al-Qasim. Nam, his family tree still exists, and Sheikh Abdul Muhsin Al-Qasim, who's Uzi, one of the Imam in the Haram in Medina. He came to England a couple of years ago. That's his family line. Nam. So his grandfather, ancestor, that one of them also explained this book. That also very good explanation. That's called Al-Hashiyah ala Kitab al-Tawheed, and is Abdul Rahman Al-Qasim. Also we have explained the book Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah. Also we have explained the book Sheikh Saleh Fawzan. Also the explanation that is there, Sheikh Abdullah Fawzan. Another Fawzan. So this one is Abdullah Fawzan, and his explanation is very good. Some even, but of the very good explanation. And that Sheikh Fawzan, Abdullah Fawzan, that the books and his works stand out. His works stand out, but as a person who is not known by many. One of those people of ilm not known by many. Then you have others, Sheikh Abdul Rahman Al-Barrak, one of the ulama of Aqidah. Now one of the contemporaries of Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, of Sheikh bin Baz, that when Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah was outside Riyadh, he would appoint this person as the mufti of Riyadh. Nam, and he sits in his masjid and teach people. People come and they read to him. That's all he does all day. Sit and just teach people books. Very old, but again of those mashaykh who are not known to many. Nam, also mention Sheikh Abdul Qasim, Abdul Muhsin Al-Qasim, Abdul Muhsin Al-Qasim, the Imam in Medina. Also he has an explanation, a very good one also. Very good explanation. And you have many others. You have many others. So said you have many over 50 easily explanation you can find if you were to go online and put all them together. Easily 50 explanation of this book. So it's in explaining any book, is to look at the audience. That was the brother asked me as to which of the explanation to use. Is first to get an idea of the audience that you're going to address and to try to find the explanation that maybe that will suit them. So you need to know concerning the level of the people that you're working with, see the audience, then you can know as to what's the more suitable explanation, because some of them may go over everyone's head because they're more for talibul ilm, and some basic ones that most people can understand. So the first thing, that's why I didn't decide on using a particular explanation, because of not knowing who would be the attendees. But now we have an idea, then now we know to put things in place, inshallah. And also, with my approach, sometimes you might try to use one particular explanation as the main one, but certain points maybe can take from another book that maybe those points may be more relevant from another book that relates to your environment and your surrounding. Clear? So sometimes I take from here and there because certain points may be more relevant from other sources that may fit into your environment or our environment. But the main thing that there's sufficient explanation that are there to work with is choosing the most appropriate based upon the audience and how much detail we wish to give. So that inshallah ta'ala, that's the introduction. What time is the salat? 7:30. Okay. So the starting time will be 6 o'clock. Or you'll explain that bit? So this is 6 o'clock because after a while the clock then changes and everything becomes very dark. But also keep it at 6 inshallah ta'ala. And then we just take the class may go for about just over an hour. We will ask question type of thing. Use whatever explanation already there. So that's kind of somewhat to prepare yourself for the lesson. So the talib, read a source, cover what was covered previously, and then also read up about what to be discussed next. So you're somewhat prepared, and don't feel that everything being said is somewhat new to you, because you already prepare yourself for what is coming by reading ahead. So follow the approach, and inshallah ta'ala, hopefully things will become easy. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm not sure. Any questions regarding what was said?
Any questions from brothers or sisters? Just some brothers and sisters may have come late. We're starting this monthly lecture series, inshallah, to go through these 3 important questions. And the reason for this is that there's lots of information out there, there's lots of groups, and there's lots of masjids that interpret things in different ways, and we wanted to give the brothers and sisters some foundations on which to understand the religion. And this is a really important issue, because if we don't fully understand our aqidah, the belief, then we will make mistakes along the way. And that's why for some it may be a difficult topic if you've not come across some of the terms before, but it's one that in time, inshallah, you will begin to understand the context in which we're discussing this. And the beauty is, and you won't find this with any other religion, and it's one of the things that this deen is based on evidence. It's rational. There's a firm basis to this religion. You go back to sources. You go back, as a brother mentioned, you go back to the Quran and the authentic Sunnah. We don't just use hearsay. So when we discuss matters, when rulings are applied, then we go back to the sources. And it's really important for you all to understand these sources and the various aspects. So today was really an introduction to the book. Those of you, I'm sure most of you have access to laptops, iPads. Rather than spend money and buy the book, if you want to buy, you can. The brother will, inshallah, confirm with us which explanation he will be using, but a lot of them are available on PDF online, and you can have access to it. So I would urge you just to get one, and the one I have in front of me is the one by Sheikh Muhammad Ibn Saleh Al-Uthaymeen, and it seems like a fairly straightforward read. I appreciate there's some in the audience that are under the age of 12. For you, some aspects of this talk may be difficult for you, and I apologize in advance to you. And you're welcome to attend and learn whatever you can. But there may be things that are covered in the class that you might find difficult. So after the class, if you have any questions or you want to ask for things in more detail or things that you don't understand, then please approach one of us or your parents that are here with you, and you will inshallah begin to understand these things. And over time you will pick up all the various aspects and understand it in more detail, inshallah. So we will inshallah do this class on a monthly basis. The aim is to do it on a Saturday around the same time, around 6 o'clock, and as the Salah comes nearer, then we will see, but assume that it will be around the 6th of each month. We will try and do it towards the beginning of the month, so around the first Saturday of every month. Expect there to be this class, and read the chapter prior to attending, and you will understand things in more detail. I'm going to end the discussion there, unless any brothers or sisters have any questions to anything we've discussed. Okay, just a reminder then, inshallah, tomorrow at 5:30 this time, and this is because the Salat al-Asr is now moved to 5 o'clock. After Salat al-Asr we will have a sheikh with us, Sheikh Hassan Rashid, who's one of the scholars of Hadith from Birmingham. He will be travelling down and discussing the status of the Sunnah. So, as the brother mentioned, that one of the important sources is the authentic Sunnah, and the Sheikh will be going through this in detail around the status of the Sunnah for you to understand this. So inshallah, please try and attend that, and those that haven't attended that please tell others about this, inshallah. And inshallah we'll end it there. Thank you all for listening, and hope you benefited from this introduction, and you've taken something away and something to think about. Jazakallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
طيب جزاك الله خير.